Hello everybody, looks like we're live. If you're new to the channel, my name is Russ.
I'm Kerry.
And we are the Roads We Roam.
We are full-time RVers, and we come to you every Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern, where we gather together and talk about different RV-related topics.
Yes.
And first we're going to give you a quick update as to where we are right now. I thought you'd be able to get a little bit of a view, but
it's all washed out.
We're at a glorious rest stop on the side of I-10.
This is an interesting rest stop because we stopped here 4 years ago, and I took a picture with Abby, who was just a couple months old at the time. So we're going to recreate that photo.
I'll put it up on Instagram.
It'll be on our Instagram. Today. We got a train going by right now, so we'll talk real loud.
Just for a second. Oh, it's not even a...
This is one of those long desert trains. There you go. That should help
for
out.
a moment. So last night we experienced a first.
We did.
As an RVer. Russ, why don't you kind of give a little bit of rundown of that?
Yeah, so I was sitting there doing some computer work, working on some stuff, and Kerry says, hey, there's a BLM guy coming up. I look out, I see a big Ford pickup heading our way, and I was like, oh yeah. So I start getting up to go outside. Once I get outside, I realized, okay, that's not BLM. It was a ranch pickup. It had like the ranch logo on the side. The guy says, hey, just want to let you know you're on, this is private property. I said, oh, this isn't government property? I thought this was BLM. He said, no. He said, this is actually state property, but the ranch owns it, or we lease it and we work it. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, there's a compendium says we could camp here. We'll get out of your hair. And again, I apologize for the issue. He said, no, don't worry about it. He says, it's late, because it was getting into the evening hours. He says, it's late. Don't worry about taking off, but I will have to ask you to leave first thing in the morning. So he was really nice. He handled it about the best way I think anybody could. And so we got out of there about 6:30 this morning. But yeah, it's the first time we've been told to leave. We were told in a very nice way.
Very nice way. There were about 3 or 4 other campers there as well, and he let all of us stay for the evening. We updated the compendium app. So just a note, when you do go to these places and you find them on compendium, one, know to double check your information, or it could potentially be incorrect if you don't see signs saying otherwise. And 2, always update it, because these apps are built by the collective information and input from all of the users. Something that might have been good a month ago might not now be relevant. So make sure we can have these apps. They're a very useful tool, but it takes the village to make it work.
Yeah, and you know, again, I was a little upset because that was such a great place. Such great views.
Gorgeous. We
were going to stay there for about 5 days, but unfortunately, we had to move on.
You jinxed us because you were staying. We could stay here for however long we want.
I know.
On Facebook.
Yeah, that's right.
I do have to laugh because there's been a contest lately to see who checks in the room first. And Bubba Bug tried as he might. Donna Delahanty had faster fingers today, and she was able to get in. And so Donna, you may recognize her name. She's one of our moderators, along with Blue Wave, Odyssey, and Camper Life. They are all in the room right now.
Yes, they are. Thank you guys for showing up. We appreciate everything you do for us.
So we're on our way. We absolutely have no idea where we're going to be today. We're just going to wing it. We play it by ear.
And that's how we roll, though. We really do. I'm going to open this back up.
Okay.
Whew. Actually, that allows people to see more, but it's cooler this way.
So we do have a couple updates for y'all. Now, one has to do with the Yellowstone update. Why don't you go ahead and...
Oh, go ahead. I've had so much going through my mind lately. Okay. I'll get it wrong.
All right. So if the meetup in Montana, named Meet Me in Montana, is a joint meetup with Travels with Delaney and us, the Roads We Roam. It'll be July 7th through 10th. We're going to have events planned 7th, 8th, and 9th. We're still working on the details on all of those. There will be a meet and greet, wine and cheese reception on the 7th.
That's right.
Events.
I'm glad you're doing this because I wouldn't have got any of that.
Events during the day on the 8th, along with a potluck that evening. The 9th, I believe, will be different activities in and around the area. And then I believe, don't hold me to this one, the 10th is a breakfast, a farewell breakfast, and Patrick pulls out that Blackstone and he goes to town.
Oh man, I've had breakfast cooked by Patrick. It is amazing,
and
so I'm looking forward to that.
Huckleberry syrup and pancakes are on the menu.
There you go.
That works. But if you plan on going, email Patrick at travelswithdelaney@gmail.com. Let him know you're interested or planning on attending, because he has created a Facebook page for all the attendees, so that way we can give more information about specific events, so we don't have to kind of do that all in these videos
Yep.
all the time. And if you're looking to make reservations, we do have that in the description below.
I just want to give a little quick shout out. Some great people in here. Sean Morton's in here. MJ and Izzy are in here. If you guys haven't heard, if you weren't here on Friday, we have a really cool collab set up between Endless RVing, MJ and Izzy, and ourselves. That one will be coming out in about a month. So I'm really looking forward to that. We really haven't collabed with them on a video,
Yeah, I'm excited.
but we talked it through and we had a great discussion. And I think it's going to be two great videos.
Yeah, don't give it
Yep,
away yet.
we're done. Yep.
He's horrible with secrets.
I am.
I'm just telling you that right now. Travels with Delaney is in the room now. He's
All
on
right.
the phone though, so
Thanks,
he said
Patrick.
he can't at anyone. Oh, and I just noticed before the show, Ole Lena and the RV, thank you so much for your super chat. We really appreciate it.
How does that go? Super chat.
I'm horrid at this. Patty, I need to record Patty singing, because Patty did it fantastic.
She did. She did.
But they were saying how funny was, they said, we don't know what Russ Fund this is for, but here you go, we're getting it started early.
I don't know about these Russ funds. Boy, I may have to rethink these things. Guys got me doing some crazy things here.
Now, we also have an announcement. This one I will pass to you.
Yeah, okay, so we have a very special announcement. Put your ears on, guys. Kerry and I have really been working really hard on something, and we've shed quite a few tears over the past couple of weeks on this. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of emotion went into this. See, I'm getting emotional now. And we are going to announce this. It has nothing to do with the meetup or anything. It's just something that we are announcing here at the end of the show.
And no, I'm not pregnant.
Yeah, no. Oh my goodness.
Steve,
I'll be running off into the desert
on the
somewhere.
adventure.
No, it's a good announcement for us. We hope you guys feel the same. We will.
And we're waiting till the end, because
Yeah.
he will cry.
I will.
The entire show.
I will.
So
It'll be over.
So hang around to the end, or if you have to get busy and come back later, make sure you check the end of the video later on.
Yeah.
Because this is something very special to us.
So,
It's very
yeah.
special, near and dear.
Yep. All right, moving on.
Moving on. So on Sundays, this is our RV educational time where we talk about different things in the RV community. But I did want to open the floor. If you have something specific RV related that you have a question about, feel free at any time to type the word question in all caps, and then along with your question, and we will try to see it, catch it, and answer that. We can start off with that now. So if anybody has any questions, you've been working on something, can't figure anything out, throw it out to the room, because we've got a lot of great, smart people.
Yeah, and really too, even once we get into the main topic of the day, which is things that were hard in RVing, or we thought was going to be harder, or the hardest things for RVing, if you have something that pops into your head, don't feel like you're interrupting the conversation. Spit that stuff out. It's just like we're sitting around a campfire and conversations meander, and that's how we like to do this. So let's see. Oh, we've got somebody from Poland in here right now.
Wow.
Polish, I do not how to...
Arkadas?
Arkadas, maybe? Wow, we've never had anybody
Arkadas.
from Poland, so thank you so much. It's great to have you in here.
International.
I know. We've had some people from the UK. We've had people in China. We've had Japan, New Zealand, Northern Ireland, but this is the first one from Poland.
Wow,
So
very
wow,
cool.
Very cool.
So today, we, as Russ tried to mention, the hardest thing to learn about RVing.
Yeah.
And we will share what that was for us, and then we're going to also ask the room. So start thinking, start typing. What was the hardest thing when you started RVing? What was that one thing?
And
so I'm going to throw that to you first.
And I don't think they have to be hardest. I think anything that was hard for you. There are several things.
Liz DC1 backing up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was worried about that. I'll tell you, the hardest thing for me, because our RV experience is a little different than some. A lot of you are full-timers, some of you aren't, some of you are part-timers. But for me, going full-time and getting into the RV life was, it was difficult leaving what I thought were my support network, my friends, my family, And but then it hit me. I was like, man, we bounced around so much from being in the military and different federal law enforcement positions that we really didn't have family near us once the kids moved out. So to me, that was what was hard. I said, well, what about my friends? And I got to tell you, all these people on here, all the people we met at Tampa, all the people we met at Hershey, all the people we've met on these roads we roam, I have built so much more of a relationship and friendship with these people. I think my friendships are much stronger, more powerful than they used to be. I mean, our neighbors in Sticks and Bricks, hey, that's about it. Maybe he was coming out and coming out to dump his garbage, and I was doing it super early because I wake up at 3. Didn't think anybody would see me in my underwear pulling my garbage out. That's about as close as we got to our neighbors. So how about you?
We'll
all right, move on.
fill up a little time.
Okay.
Because I want to catch up before you say I got too far behind.
Okay, let's go for it.
So there's a lot of people, as I mentioned, Liz DC, Lewis Outside, Auntie Debbie, Jean, backing up, learning to park, from nursing our travel bug. That was something we were very worried about. I remember us watching video after video, and one of the reasons why we wanted to pick a small rig too was because we were worried about backing up.
Yeah, there's an intimidation factor. It's less intimidating having a small one like that.
Proceeding onward in America, finding places to park for the night.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I mean, just that fear for us right now is over. We talked with Patrick from Travels with Delaney this morning, where we said, we don't know where we're going yet today, but we know we'll find somewhere.
Yeah.
We're to that point now where we're not stressed about where we'll find places to park.
And I
but
think
it is daunting at the beginning.
And I think Proceeding Onward in America is the same way. They're veteran full-timers. They've been doing this for a long time. They do a lot of boondocking, a lot of free camping, so I'm sure that they have realized that, okay, this isn't as scary of a situation as we thought it was going to be.
Now, Bubba Bug, I've never heard of this, but maybe you have, because it's more of the equipment side. I hated trunnion bars on equalizer hitches. I don't use them anymore now. I use the Anderson with the chains.
Oh, okay. So boy, I'm guessing what that is some sort of weight distribution. We had the chains as well. So I never dealt with the bars. I have seen the bars on a lot of rigs throughout the campgrounds that we've been at. But the chains just seem a little bit easier to set up for me. But then again, I've never had experience with those bars.
This is true. And we had a learning curve as well. We used to over tighten at the beginning. Remember how much it would creak and groan like really bad?
Or we wouldn't seat it, right? And they fell out.
They'd fall out and drag them down the road.
Oops, sorry, Abby.
And what else did we have wrong with that one time?
We didn't even need them on our rig.
That's true. It kept throwing off the
alignment.
The alignment because our vehicle didn't need it. It was actually causing stress to the vehicle.
And that again is also because we were tightening them down way too much.
Roy and Becky's travels. So the hardest thing for them, planning to get to a destination.
Yeah.
Yeah, making that plan to get there, and then always having the allowances if something goes wrong. We could have planned on boondocking out at that site we were at last night for 5 or 6 days and not thought of anything else. And then you get the boot. It's like that panic of what do we do? What do we do?
Yeah, I think early on that would have been pretty, I don't know if traumatic is the right word, but it would have been stressful for us.
Yes.
And now it's like, we've been through not knowing where we're going to sleep tonight, so it's not that difficult. But yeah, that would have been, early on, that would have been pretty stressful for us.
Now, I know there were a lot of names right at the beginning, but I'm going to be shouting out also new names and other names. So
yeah, I see one right there.
Wandering Wiley is a new name, so hi. Welcome.
I see Jason T. signing.
Ooh, very cool. Is it signing?
Singing? Probably, yeah.
Okay. I always have to question Russ's name.
I'm trying to read, and I just can't read, that's all. All right, moving on.
Now, Nomadic Hippie, he's a truck driver.
Yeah.
Learning the brakes. My truck brakes way different than my motorhome. See, that's something I would have never thought of. I would have thought, I look at these big rig drivers, and I think, well, they could jump into anything, and it wouldn't be any issue. I would have never thought about that.
Well, I saw Nomadic Hippie was talking about one time he was talking about RVs pulling into the check stations. It says all trucks must pull over. We saw that yesterday, and it was just a F-150 pulled in there. I was like, I wonder what Nomadic Hippie would be thinking about this guy, because it wasn't even like it wasn't even like a big RV that you see pulled over every once in a while. It's just an F-150 over there.
It said truck, so he was technically a truck, so
Yeah.
technically he was correct, I guess. RV underway, the very first time behind the wheel of a wide Class A, white-knuckled at 15 miles home.
Yeah.
I feel you, because I just drove around a parking lot in this Class A, and I was white-knuckling it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've been right there. When we bought this, I had to drive this through downtown Las Vegas.
I don't know how you did that.
To our new campsite. So yeah, right there with you. That was spooky.
If that were me, the RV would have never made it to the other campground. I would have been in an accident.
Well,
Right?
I knew we had to move it somehow, so it was either do it or
Sink or swim.
or we're in trouble. So.
Oh, Lena in the RV.
Hey guys.
Living too small. I couldn't do a 24-foot Class C, so I transferred to a 32-foot Class A. That is something that can be hard, especially if you're used to a much larger space and not living minimally, and then suddenly having to cram down to something like that. I can see how that would be very stressful and very difficult. It's like, where do you make the cutoff? We ran into that somewhat when we were downsizing. Where do we draw the line on what we keep and what we let go?
Yeah.
And what we take with us. You know, there's that compulsion to always want to have everything at hand.
Yeah. Let me answer a question real quick, because I
Sure.
just saw it, and I know you haven't been able to catch up on it yet. The Art of RVing had asked if I drove a truck while I was in the Air Force. No, I was actually a canine handler. I was a bomb dog handler. Well, I started off as a narcotics dog handler, then made it to be a bomb dog handler afterwards. So I looked for drugs and bombs. That's what I did in the Air Force. Okay,
That's
moving
why
on.
you answered that one. You can't let that go. Liz DC said you both had a ton of guts to get a small trailer and go full time, especially since you weren't campers. Shows how gutsy you both are, or crazy.
Yeah, you know, Kerry and
Just
I.
go and do it.
Kerry and I have done some crazy things in the past, and not crazy like, oh my goodness, but we've taken risks. We've never been afraid of risks. So, and I'm so thankful I have somebody who is willing to go along with some of my craziness. You know, we work out very well that way together. So.
Well, I'm lucky too. Because you put up with me. I know I can get a little bit crazy and overly analytical, and I have to have things a certain way, and he's learned to just put up with it. Outdoor staycations. Hardest thing, learning how to slow down. We don't need to see everything or do everything.
Yes.
That was one of the things I was thinking for me was one of the hardest things to do, because I was an over planner. Nomadic hippie, thank you very, very much.
Thumbs up, buddy.
Thumbs up to you too.
Super chat. Since you're not going to do it, I'll do it, I guess.
Sorry, guys.
But yeah, no, you're 100% right. We put 31,000 miles on the books last year, our first year of RVing. And it really hit us that, okay, we are coming back to these places. This is a lifestyle. It's not a one and done. So slow down. You don't have to try to see everything and then really end up seeing nothing because you're trying to see everything. Slow down and really invest into what it is and see that. And next time you come through, you can see another thing. But really invest yourself. That's perfect. I would have not remembered that, but I now that they brought it up, that was something that hit us hard.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Mr. Mark Milinarski said you need to move next to us.
Well, you know what? If I could pick my neighbors, Mark and Karen, they would be great neighbors. So
yes, they would.
If we ever slow down, I'll tell you what, Mark, you guys go ahead and I'm going to jump on the wife's bandwagon here. So go ahead and get Karen that tab, and then we can all be campers as we drive around places.
There we go. I can see Karen with a big grin on her face right
Mark
now.
is like, you traitor, Russ.
Only adventure. Learning how to take those extra wide turns and tow the travel trailer safely.
Yes. Yep. Especially doing those right turns.
Yeah, I can't speak to that, but it is nerve-wracking for me. So, but I would imagine for me, because I really haven't driven a lot of the time, to me, the length of the vehicle and when to pass or pull into different lanes when you're on the freeway. To me, That seems very scary.
Yeah, and I can see that. I tell you that the thing that you have to worry about the most are those right-hand turns. You've got to be looking at your mirrors, especially that right-hand side. You've got to be watching your mirrors. I've got that little convex mirror pointed down so I can see my wheels
Okay.
on the back there. And I make sure I'm watching my wheels as I track around that turn to make sure they're not going to hit that stop sign or they're not going to go over the curb.
Gotcha.
So you use your mirrors a lot more even when going forward and turning.
Little trick for the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, Travels with Delaney said the hardest thing for him when they started was keeping Patty happy. You know, I disagree with that because Patty is a very easygoing person. I don't think it would take a lot to make her happy. But hey, give us another answer, Patrick. Come on, that was too easy. Okay, got to do something else.
I'm not going to get involved in this conversation. I just shrug my shoulders.
Jerry Holly said, just making sure you have everything hooked up and turned on when you get to your site.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, when you're brand new, or even if you've been doing this for a while, but you get a new type of rig, there are different setups and takedowns.
Yes.
So yeah, I can totally see that. What I'm always nervous about, and it's kind of like OCD, I will have to stop and look out my driver's side window and say, okay, yes, I did. Well, I have a nightmare of driving away still plugged in, whether it's the hose or whether it's the power. And even though I know I did it, I have to, it's like you with the curling iron.
Yes.
I have to stick my head out and look, okay, yes, we're unplugged. Water and electric, we can drive away. God forbid, sewer. Oh, no.
I think this is the real reason why Russ wanted to go an RV full time, because when we lived at home, I had the worst OCD. Every time we left the house, I was worried whether I left the oven on, or the curling iron on, or the garage door open. And there had been several times that I would make him turn around, go back home just so we could check because the dogs were home and I didn't want the house burning down.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. Somebody had just commented about, confidence can hurt you, and you're 100% correct. In law enforcement, those were the guys that got. It wasn't the people that were paranoid or thinking, something's still going to happen to me. It's those guys that have been on there 20 years, long time, and they get complacent. And nothing's happened to me in 20 years. Nothing's going to happen to me. And that is confidence or complacency. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and there's been a couple times where we would forget. When you're in a rush, that's usually when you're going to forget something. But do those quick walk-arounds. Give yourself peace of mind. And I'll usually do another walk around unless it's really, really cold out, and then I don't go out.
Real quick here, downsizing makes sense is taking off. They're getting ready because they're going full time. But guys, swing back in at the end there because we don't want you to miss this. Check out this announcement. It's coming here in just about 30 minutes. But come back, check that out. I don't want you guys to miss that.
Okay. It's about time now, said remembering our rig height and being careful in gas stations or under trees.
Yeah, you're right. And I'll take that one step further. Good thing that you do is write that rig height down and put it sticky note somewhere where you can see it, either down by your speedometer or up in the window. Because, and this has happened when I'm going down the road, you're going 40 miles an hour down a road and there's a sign that says 12'6" thing, and now you're questioning, am I 11'6" or am I 12'6"? I know I'm 11'6". But in the heat of the moment, sometimes when you get put on the spot, you forget. So,
well, Camper Life can attest to that. I think we were on the phone with William. We were going through Mobile.
Okay, yeah.
And there was that tunnel. And we were coming through, and I think it was like a 13-foot height. And normally we have our little sticker, but we had been cleaning stuff out, and the little sticky note had fallen off. So when I see that bridge sign or the tunnel sign, and I'm looking for the sticky, I didn't see it. And Russ, are we less than 13 feet? Are we less than, and I'm panicking the entire time. I thought for sure we'd be a convertible boon. So just having those things so you don't have to really stress about that. It's just there on paper and you're like, okay, I got it. Good. And I mean, we've been driving around in this almost a year. That sticker had been there for almost a year, but the one time we needed it, it wasn't there. So that...
Yeah, and again, it just because you're put into the moment there. Silver State K9 LLC, John, thank you so much for that, John. It's not necessary.
But you got to sing.
No, I can't sing. But, John, thank you again so much. Super chat. John is one of our Patreon
We're gonna
members.
meet up with him
so.
in Las Vegas. You've got to give him a call.
Yes, John, I'll
What
be
is it?
calling you because we will be in Vegas for several days, and we would love to meet up and say hello. Plus, John has said I can get on the end of a leash and work a detection dog. He owns Silver State Canine
So
LLC.
these are cool.
So yeah, I'd love to
We get a
work
new
with a
puppy?
dog. Hey, we got Bob in the house. He says, great
Bob is
channel, good
back."
live. Yes.
Bob's been gone for a little while. He's been busy, so I'm glad to see you back.
Hey, Bob, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. We're glad you could join us. I know life gets hectic and busy and all, so we really do appreciate, and we're honored and humbled that y'all spend your time with us, because we know
We do.
there's a lot going on, and we know there's so many other choices, so thank you guys so much.
Especially on Super Bowl Sunday.
I know. I was worried about Super Bowl Sunday. I was like, oh my goodness.
Now, another hardest thing, conserving water, says Sean Martin.
Yes.
Sean Martin.
Sean, you are correct. Yeah, but once you learn how to do it, and once you start being aware of it, it's one of those things that is easy. But in the beginning, boy, you just go through water. You're hemorrhaging water.
Yeah, we know about how long we can go now, whether we need to conserve, doing dishes, doing it all at once in the day, or whether we have time to do it a couple times. You learn your rig, and you learn the way you use your rig. And so after you've done it for a while, it's second nature. But at the beginning, we found ourselves running out of water quite a bit, or having to leave somewhere to go dump our tanks earlier than we planned because we weren't used to that. So that's a very good one, Sean. Let me see
here. Olilina in the RV says, speaking of right-hand turns, I just had a $9,000 repair from not being able to see a cement curb saver pulling up. Oh my goodness.
That hurts.
That hurts both. Boy, man, I'm so sorry for that happening. I hope that never happens, but you just never know. Sometimes you can't see those things too.
True.
So I guess the thing you can look forward to, or the silver lining in the clouds there, is that you weren't injured. Nobody was injured.
That's true. Liz DC, she said for her husband, it was all the Liz projects on the little guy Max. If you don't know, Liz has tricked out her little guy Max.
One of the most tricked out ones out there, yeah.
She said, he must love me since there's been a ton of projects.
Well,
I agree.
Yeah, and thankfully, Liz...
But their inspiration, we've talked about it, several of your projects, like the... What is it?
Goal
Goal
Zero.
Zero,
Yeah,
how you store underneath your kitchen sink. Love that idea. We're thinking of doing that with our little guy.
Yeah, I tell you, thankfully, I'm not her husband, or you don't, you're not. I wouldn't be able to do that. That's what I'm just saying. We would have spent a lot of money. Her husband is, I think he's a diesel mechanic or something.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, he's able to do a lot of cool things to that rig.
That's why we got boomed, because Russ saw that everything that Kerry wanted was already done. He's like, okay, we'll take this one.
Weeboost check, solar check, 960 watts of solar check.
There you go, we got it in. We got it in. Roy and Becky's Travels. It's definitely less stressful out west to find spots,
Yes.
but that's when water consumption becomes more stressful. So that's the give and take.
Yes.
We had the benefit of living out in the Southwest for a very long period of time, so we kind of got used to water conservation methods and the heat and how to do different things. But
yeah, flip your AC
we could not wait to get back here, though, because you're right. It is a lot easier to find places to park and stay overnight. I mean, as soon as you enter Texas, you can stay at any rest stop for up to 24 hours.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of states that don't allow you to stay overnight at rest stops.
Well, I tell you, back east, man, we did a lot of, when we were waiting for Hershey to come up, we did a lot of Cracker Barrel, or Russism, Cracky Barrel, and Walmart Wally docking. Boy, I mean, out here we get to go out into, like you said, rest stops, but mostly BLM areas. And in Tennessee, they've got those TVA, those Tennessee Valley Authority areas. So yeah, you're right.
Only adventure. This was what I was going to talk about being one of my hardest things. They said, honestly, trying to plan meals for 7 days straight off grid is pretty tough.
Yeah.
Especially when you have those small confined kitchens with limited space, trying to plan meals that can kind of piggyback off of one another, and maximizing the storage space so that way they can stack a little bit easier. That has been one of the tougher things for me to kind of master.
Yeah, well, you figure
That's why
about
we ate out a lot when we first started,
That's
because
right.
I would buy the way I used to, and I'd have like 1 or 2 meals worth of. It took up all the room, and then it's like, well, what are we going to eat for the rest of the week?
Yeah. No, that you've gotten pretty good at that. And again, a lot of that has to do with space. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you're in a 3. Some of these rigs only have a 3 cubic foot refrigerator. Sometimes you're in that 6. You're a little bit bigger, but yeah, I don't know how you do it because now Kerry can shop. We'll have 7 days where we don't have to go in. And we are not going out either.
No,
You're
but
able
I
to.
did learn a trick from Alan Bean
Okay.
in Nashville. He has one of those vacuum pack sealers for his food. We don't have that. But I've learned with things like when I make red beans and rice
Yeah.
and some of the other meals, I will put it in the Ziploc bag and then I flatten it out. You can fit so many meals if you flatten them all out. And are you laughing at what Mark Milinarski
I
just said?
He says, Mark Milinarski super chat. He says we appreciate you guys much, and then even though Russ practically never helps me out, I'm sorry, Mark, but you know, I mean, I live in a small space. I got to make sure that I'm not going to be sleeping on the couch with the dogs.
And not
So,
only that, but he saw the cupcakes and cookies that Karen can make. So he's
yeah,
trying to
red
get on her
velvet.
good
Those are my
side.
favorite.
But no, if you do the Ziploc bags, you put your meals in those and you can flatten them out. They stack and store in the freezer and the fridge very easily. And then you can just take them and put them either in your Instant Pot with some water to reheat or in the pan with some boiling water. And it makes it so
Wanted to
easy.
throw out a quick shout out here again to another one of our moderators that popped in. We didn't see you earlier, so we didn't say your name. Thank you, Justin and Christina's
Oh, hey, guys.
RV Van Life, for coming in and helping us out. Much appreciated, guys.
Okay, so you threw me off now.
Okay, well, get back on track.
Let's see what Posh Cats Camping had to say.
All right.
Anything bigger than 25 feet in the UK can cause issues at some campsites.
I
The
bet.
majority of RVs in the UK are smaller than 25 feet simply because of the smaller roads. That explains so much. I love a lot of the European rigs. I will look at those on Instagram and
Oh, yeah,
online all the
yeah.
time. And I think the UK really is leading the design element that you're seeing to start come over here in the US.
Yeah.
But
Well-
that makes sense, especially when we went to London.
hmm
I don't know how people park in London. I really don't.
I don't know how they drive in London.
But yeah, that makes sense. That
I don't know how they
be
cross
smaller.
the street in London. I would have to look down. When you're crossing the street in London, they've got these signs that say, look that way. You know, because Americans are used to looking left and right and left again. If you look left and step out, you're in trouble. So I would have to always look down and say, okay. You know, I didn't know which way to even look to cross the street.
Yes, and yeah, I wouldn't even drive it in the UK.
No.
So I won't even drive our rig here and then take that out there. But the van life culture out there
Oh, yeah.
is very big.
Yeah, the UK, EU, and really a lot of the nicer design elements that are coming into the newer rigs. It's that European design element. And I know UK isn't European, but you're over there very close, and
Mhm.
a lot of your stuff reflects that as well. So let's see here.
So Roy and Becky's Travel said New Mexico, you can stay in the rest areas for 24 hours too.
Oh, good to know.
I knew that.
I didn't.
So
And we are sitting in a New Mexico rest stop right
we
now.
can just stay here tonight if we
No,
want.
I don't think so.
No, we got the train.
I want to get into
right
some
there.
BLM land again.
Yeah, we want to find. That was one of our goals. With this little bit of time we have before we have to be in the Vegas area, is to find some nice BLM land. However, it's going to get very cold. It got down to 28 degrees last night out here. We're probably going to see it get down to like 21.
You know what? Anything under 30 is it's
same?
Yeah, it's the same really. We've been in the 30s for the last 4 or 5
I know
nights.
right now people in the really cold areas are going, oh, boo-hoo.
But yeah, I mean, at night it does
I
get
would
cold.
love it.
30s, 28. But you know, during the daytime, yeah, there's nothing to complain about. It's in the 60s. So it's been
Yeah, I
really
agree.
nice during the daytime here.
Now, I will say, I miss the dual-paned windows from the Little Guy Max.
Yep.
The older rigs don't have that, and that is our biggest loss of heat. We did stop by Home Depot. We got 2 big rolls of Reflectix
So
that we put up at night, and that helped a lot.
yeah, so again, we aren't using the Reflectix at night in the manner which a lot of people are going to say they're not insulation. You know, but what they are is they stop the drafts that come through our windows.
It's something quick and easy we can just put up.
At nighttime, we use them to stop the drafts. During the hotter times of the year, it'll be great to insulate against the heat as well.
Slow momentum. We may get to see slow momentum. Said, oh, I just missed it. Okay, yes, I'm everywhere. Oklahoma, Texas line westbound. Heading west.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, it'd be great to bump into you. I want to answer a question here because this is a question. Let's see here. It was said.
Hi, Helen Dudgeon.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it here. Somebody had asked about condensation in our rig, and we've taken a lot of steps to battle against condensation. So yes, we do have some condensation issues, usually on these windows or the front windows there. But we've gotten several different items to help with that.
So we have 2 plug-in EvaDries.
Yep.
They just plug into any regular outlet. They have these little gels inside. They turn blue once they've absorbed a lot of the moisture. You plug them in, and when they turn orange again, then you can set them out. So they don't need to be plugged in all the time. You just charge them until they turn orange.
Oh my goodness, Dan Nakano's in the house.
Hey.
Don Nakano. Don, we are going to be in Phoenix here very soon. We want to have a get-together.
The 8th. So
yes.
For anybody in Phoenix, because I know Mary's out there, Donna's out there, Don and Ellen are out there. So next Saturday on the 8th, we are going to be in Phoenix. So anybody that wants to get together, let's see what we can pull together.
Yeah.
And Russ will get your name right.
I know it. It's just.
So Jurgen from Jurgen's Journeys has a question.
Okay.
How do you handle dog washing on the roads we roam?
Oh boy. Well,
Billy gets her spa days in the sink.
Yeah. Or Kerry has taken a shower with Billy once. Yeah, we use the outdoor shower for Abby. She's a little bit bigger.
Or she jumps in a river.
Well, that's a whole different washing up. Or we just give them, some. If we're trying to conserve water, but the dogs need a bath or something, we'll just use like a gallon jug, and then I'll use our wipes. We have these wipes. One time I had Abby out. It was here in New Mexico, actually.
It was too cold to give her a bath.
Yeah, and she got into some. She found some really nice smelling cow poo and decided to roll in it. So
I warned you.
I know.
I told you, don't let her go running off leash like that.
So yeah, that time I used a little bit of water, but it was cold, so I used a lot of wipes.
Oh, Donna said, by the way, I got an Instant Pot. Finally, I love it. You're hooked.
Yeah, they're good things. They're good stuff.
It really does come in handy, and you know what's so funny is I lamented so much about my little guy not having an oven, that we got the Instant Pot and I got used to it. I use the Instant Pot now more than I use our oven. When I was thinking about doing a reno for the kitchen in Boone, I was actually debating pulling out the oven and just having more counter space and storage. Yeah. It's off
I'm
anyway.
glad you didn't do that.
Everything.
That would have been a lot of work.
Because it's not done. It's not done.
You sprung this build on me here. We were just going to buy some couches and put them in here, and she says, nope. We're going to build this. And I'm talking, we had already started pulling the flooring out when it wasn't like she said this 2 weeks ahead of time. We had time to plan. Flooring was pulled out. She says, I don't want to buy the couches. We're going to build a couch. I was like, oh my goodness, here we go. Oh. And for somebody who is a little bit more qualified than I am.
Hey, you did a great job. It came out.
Yeah, but I think it was still stressful.
So Don said, let us know when you're in Phoenix. They're going to pick up red velvet cupcakes from Sassy's for you. Well, Sassy's is a great.
I don't know what Sassy's is, but I know I like red velvet cupcakes.
Yes, you do. That's a weak part for you. You even got red velvet
fudge
at Buc-ee's. I went to my first Buc-ee's this week. We went crazy. What did I get? What are those things called? The Buc-ee Bites?
Goodness. Yeah, nuggets.
Nuggets taste like Captain Crunch. I need a big bowl of milk.
Or those corn pops.
Yeah.
That's what they taste like.
And then we got the fudge, and then we got the shredded
beef sandwiches, brisket. Oh, yeah, we got all kinds of stuff. We spent a lot of money at Buc-ee's.
Bubba said, weekend RVing New Mexico is awesome. I'm about a 5-hour drive from New Mexico.
Come on down.
We're on the I-10. We're easy to find, apparently. I have not seen any other are rigs that look like ours. There must not be very many out on the road.
Well, there's not a
so-
whole lot of Damons out on the road anymore, but yeah, we've seen quite a few as we're driving around. Come on now.
Downsizing makes sense. You know how you said stick around?
Yeah.
They said you have them curious, so they're going to take a break.
Woohoo! Thank you, guys.
Russ making people not do their work. Shame
Well,
on you.
yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, really, if you guys got to go, I know how hard it is to downsize and get out on the road. So fear not, you can come back and see what we're talking about. I'll have links in the community page as well, but it would be really neat if we could all do it at the same time. If we could experience it at the same time.
Now, going back to Jurgen's question, we haven't done this yet, but I've always kept it in the back of my mind. There are certain places at car washes that they also have the dog washes set up. And if you go visit the Route 66
I was just
RV
going there.
resort,
Yep.
the exit 140 off the I-40 west of Albuquerque, New Mexico.
17 miles west.
That they have a dog washing station with a ramp and the big steel tub with the hose, everything. You just have to bring the shampoo. So places like that are available as well. Did they have a little dryer thing too?
They did, yeah.
They had a little dryer thing too.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that Route 66 hotel or casino campground resort place, that's the most dog-friendly place I've ever seen. Any building within the resort.
In the clubhouse.
Yeah, any building within the resort, you can take your dogs. The manager will come out and want to take pictures with your dogs, too.
Ask for Carlos.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Tell him Russ and Kerry from the Roads We Roam said hello.
We don't get anything from it, but
No.
it's nice to
We want Carlos
say hi to
know we're
Carlos.
telling everybody about how
Exactly.
great it is. Slow Momentum was giving everybody a heads up. High wind alert for Arizona on the I-40 on Monday.
Good to know. Thank
when
you.
we were coming through last week, just a couple days ago, coming through on the I-10, you were hitting some really heavy wind.
Yeah, it was probably the more stressful driving I've done. Jurgen asked if it'll work for a 150-pound dog. I had no idea Rotten was that big.
Yes, it would. It's a big,
But it will, yes. And what they do is they have this little door that you lift up, and the dog can walk in, and then you close it, and then when he's ready to walk out, you just lift it up. So there's no jumping or having to pick the dog up into it. So the dog can walk in and walk out on its own power. Unless it's Abby, who would not go in there for the life of us.
So if you watch the video that we did, that we had to put Abby in there to show that that's what a dog wash, it was a dog washing station. Abby refused to walk up that ramp. She was like putting her butt on the ground, dragging it, and Russ is like, work with me.
I was like, you know what? I was a canine handler. You're going to do what I'm telling you to do either way.
So she looks very unhappy in that
Now,
water.
if it was Billy might have gotten away from it because she's so small and tiny. She would have made me feel bad. But
you wouldn't have seen her in it.
Abby's big enough. I was like, nope, we're going to do what Daddy says we're going to do.
No, Billy can fit in the sink, and if I put the water just nice and warm, she sits there like it's a spa treatment, and she just looks out the window while I'm giving her a bath.
I just want to say hi, Lucky Dog Productions. He's saying, hope everyone is having a Sunday fun day.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate that.
So Weekend RVing, they were sharing with Bubba, but I thought this was good. They boondock at the Kansas Star Casinos of Wichita.
Yeah.
They have great places to stay. Casinos are not every casino lets you, but the vast majority of them are very RV friendly.
Yeah, we've had good experiences in casinos. We were up in one in the Poconos and, a lot of places. Yeah, casinos are great places to look to.
Well,
and they usually have security running around as well.
Let's Go Somewhere Motorhome Travels says, have you heard of the Mr. D thermal cooking pot? No, I have not, but I will be Googling it right after the show.
You bet she will. She'll be ordering it off of Amazon. So if you got your Amazon link, put it up.
We got introduced to them recently, so hoping to buy one at a local motorhome show this month in the UK. I'm going to check that one out.
Avenger RV Adventure says, think someone might have issues with you taking your dog. I see a lot of bathrooms at campgrounds that say no dogs allowed. So yeah, I think probably people might.
What, at the Route 66?
Just anyone. Yeah, at the Route 66, probably not. Carlos is a great guy. I got to tell you, Route 66, best showers on the road.
Best showers on the road, but it is such a big bathroom, and each area is individual.
Yeah.
So I don't think you would really run into that issue as much. That's the thing. There's so much room there that anybody who has a dog, as long as they keep them on leash and have control of their dog and clean up after their dog, I think that's the big thing. that you'll see more places be more welcoming to pets and letting them be pet friendly. Let me kind of move down here.
All right, let's see if I can find some stuff too. Let's see. Bubba Bug says there are a few awesome thermal ovens on the market. Cooked pizza and cakes in them. I gotta tell you, man, pizza. You sold me on pizza. You had me on pizza, Bubba Bug.
Yeah, but see,
You had me at pizza.
I can't make forget about it pizza.
Oh man, that's such good pizza. I'm sad we're having to drive away. I tell you, we kid about it, but when we were here last year, we were about 100 miles away, and I told Kerry, I was like, hey, you want to drive down and get some forget about it? So it was 100 miles away, and had Kerry even hinted that that was okay, I would have gone.
He would have.
And now she sees why. She remembers now. She's like, okay, yeah, I get it. Oh my goodness.
Jurgen said, and this is where I would draw the line too. He said, I see people grooming their dogs on picnic tables.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Don't groom your dog on the picnic
Well, you got
table.
to figure people eat there, too. So yeah.
Yeah, don't groom the dogs on the picnic tables. Let's see. Oli, Lena, and the RV. I lived in New Mexico for 5 years. Sometimes they close I-40 for sandstorms. I was at an RV park, and the park filled up in about 15 minutes. I also lived on 2 reservations, and it was awful. The windstorms out here can be bad. I mean, to the point where it hurts your face. The sand is like
Well, the
sand
point where you
blasting
can't
your
even
skin.
see. Yeah, there are signs out here that says sandstorm possible, 0% visibility. They're telling you to pull off the road and turn your lights off. I'd often wondered why you should turn your lights off, but I'm guessing now that when people are driving in that sort of thing, they're looking for lights. So if they see a light, they're going to start heading for that because they think that those lights are people driving on the freeway. And if you're sitting off to the side of the road, your lights are on, they may cram into you. That's my guess. If anybody knows the real reason, maybe if some of the truck drivers are in here, they'll let us know.
Okay, here's a question for the room. What do they call those big sandstorms? I think it's a habu, something like that. Some weird,
Yeah.
some weird name like that.
I think they call them big sandstorms. But no, yeah.
There's a name for it. It's just a weird name.
I think
so
you're
I'm
right.
afraid
It's
to
something.
say it.
It's something like habu, habub, or something like that. Yeah, you are correct, Russ. People will follow your light and drive into you. Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
figured. Just with drunks too. When I was a cop, if you wanted to see if somebody might be a little bit drunk, you could kind of center up on their car and move yours over a little bit. And a lot of times, if they're drunk, they'll follow your lights because they'll want to center from behind you even. And so that's not enough probable cause or reasonable suspicion to pull somebody over, but you can use that as part of your justification.
So Donna said, yes, it is a haboob.
Haboob.
I wasn't, it just is a funny word to say, and I was hoping I wasn't saying it wrong.
Yeah, swearing or something in Arabic, saying something crazy in Arabic.
So, yeah, Liz Childers. Hi, Liz. She said, I wondered about that sandstorm thing, light thing, too.
Yeah. See, we learned stuff in here.
Yeah, that's the word of the day. Those sandstorms can be miles high.
Wow,
Just
didn't realize
Google
that.
haboob in Phoenix,
So-
and you'll
So
get something.
if you
That's
could
what
be,
Donna
you
said.
could be in trouble flying an airplane even if a haboob were to show up.
Okay, here's someone we haven't seen in a while. Consolidated Freedom.
Wow.
Nicholas.
Thanks
if
for
a
joining
person
us.
must feel like that they need to be visible, they need to put on their flashers. If they are in an older vehicle, they may only have an hour before the battery is dead.
Mm.
So if you have to pull over, turn it off. But then if you need to be seen, I guess then turn it on for help.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never been in one of those. I'm gonna Google it though for sure.
Yeah. Camel spiders blowing around.
Oh no,
No.
those are those huge things.
No, thank you. No, spiders. No, I don't do spiders. I vacuum them, and if they don't fit in a vacuum, I am out of there. That should be the requirement for my hand vacs from now on. Whatever area we're going in.
Will it fit a camel
hand?
spider? Can I get a spider in here?
I would have never moved to Hawaii had I known about the big cane spider.
Yeah.
These spiders are like that big, and they jump at you.
They're not gonna bite you, but that's their defense is that they'll jump at you and they'll spread their legs out. So yeah, they're huge, man.
Okay,
Spooky. Oh,
what-
Mom just jumped in the room.
She said, sorry I'm late. JT and DT's Adventures said those huge sandstorms start small. Um, Start in a small area like a ranch that's been overgrazed. So that makes sense because it has the room to kind of pick up all the loose dust and everything.
So here's some Consolidated Freedom says, who here has cut out on sodas or any other drinks to cut down on the amount of recycles that they have to carry or deal with? That's a good point.
We drank a lot less soda when we were in the Little Guy Max.
Yep.
For that very reason, because we didn't have enough room to store things. And you bring up a very good point. You have to think about what you can carry with you and then the amount of trash. Somebody else, I think, had mentioned laundry earlier. So laundry and trash are my two hardest things that we deal with.
Yeah.
Trash, when I redesigned, I got a nice big trash can because I kept complaining how we didn't have anywhere to throw trash. Downside of having a big trash can, there's a lot of places.
Try throwing away a big garbage bag.
You see these big dumpsters and they say not for public use and you can't. And if you're not staying at a campground, it's very difficult if you're on the move to try to get rid of a big trash bag.
So what do you do now? How do you work that now?
So I have my big trash can, but then I still use the Walmart bags. We throw our trash in there. When it's full, we tie it off. And when we stop at gas stations or little rest stops, we throw them away little at a time.
That's when we're moving. But when we are in campgrounds where there's big dumpsters, then we use the big ones. Yeah, that's a great point. We never even thought about till we got on the road. We're like, how do we throw this big bag away?
Oh, there was one time. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
We got a question in here.
Okay.
So let's see
read
here.
It?
Question, does your dehumidifier help with moisture in cupboards, closet, and under bench storage?
Yes, so those EvaDries do.
Yep.
So they don't have to be plugged in. You just plug them in to re-dry them out because they're reusable. And so you can take them and you can tuck them in wherever you want. When we were in the Little Guy Max, I had them tucked into the little cubbies where we kept our clothes because I noticed that we had condensation up in the little corner areas. I had initially been storing towels there. When we went to go take a shower, I pulled them out and they felt all damp.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were stopping the moisture on the wall, but then the towers were getting moldy and mildewy. So putting those EvaDry things there, you can do it. Just check them every day.
And then also a way to help out with that is when you're sitting still, open up those, open up the doors to your drawers, to your cupboards, especially if those are areas that you're having humidity issues. That way you can get some airflow through there, and maybe even have a fan on or something. And another thing too is you really, if it's cold, watch how much propane you're using. If you're not plugged in, you're stuck using propane. But if you're at a campground, plug in an electric heat source.
That'll help dry everything.
Yeah, because propane puts out humidity where electric will not put out humidity.
That is true. And it'll dry things out. We didn't hit it as much when we were out west, but we noticed a big when we went east, we dealt with the condensation a lot.
Yeah, down
more.
In Florida.
Florida, forget it. I just give up on Florida.
I'm going to close this door again, or window, because we got a big train coming again.
This is a big long one, too, so you'll get to... I don't know, can they see the train?
I don't know.
So you're right, though, Nicholas. By living small, you do change your eating and or drinking habits because of the types of foods and everything that you have to lug in, lug out, and the ease of use. You do have to rethink that whole thing. It's different than sticks and bricks, for sure.
It is. It is. I think it's easier if you're dieting. It's easier to do it in an RV. Well, I don't know. I know for what we have been doing. We've been doing intermittent fasting for weeks now.
We tried keto and failed like 3 times.
Yeah. But intermittent fasting is so much easier in an RV. So I do think that if you're trying to eat better, especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you've shopped well, because you're 20 miles away from a McDonald's cheeseburger or something. It's easier when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Let's see here. RV Underway says, Russ, run and put a penny on the track. Yeah, right.
He doesn't have any pennies.
That decimal point needs to be moved over 2 more zeros, Ricky, for me to try something like that. These trains are flying through here, man. I'll get myself in a lot of trouble.
And there's a fence, and you'd probably get stuck on it. What was I going to? Oh, I forgot.
See, Jurgen's Journey says fasting is good. Give the gut a break. Exactly. And I tell you, I've felt a lot better since we've started doing that. We do an 18-6. So for 6 hours a day, we'll eat. And then the other 18 hours a day, we fast and drink water.
Let's Go Somewhere Motorhome Travels. When we were talking about that kitchen item that I'm probably going to really want, they're trying to put a link, but it says they can't put any web address in chat. That's correct. It's blocked. The only people that can put links right now are moderators, but you can in the comments after the show.
Yeah.
Go into the comments there. You may not see it because it'll require approval, but we'll get to see it. And then we'll share that with everybody who wants to know.
Guys, just another quick reminder. If you're in the room right now, stick around because we've got a really cool release that we're going to talk about. Or not release, but an update that we want to give you. And again, this is, Kerry and I worked really hard on this, and it's really something special for us. So stick around.
Okay. Bob777 Crepo said, quit soda 5 years ago, lost 10 pounds in a month.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, I can see that. I
That's
can see
motivation
that.
alone.
See, question, what are your eating hours, Auntie Debbie Jean? So we eat from 12 to 6 p.m. So
and that
noon
just
to 6.
works well with our schedule for the most time, but like when we were in Tampa and we had the potluck later in the evening, we will adjust. If we know we're going to be out later with people that day, then we'll bump the start time a little bit later.
And then if we really had to make a huge adjustment, what we'll do, like if breakfast comes really early, like when we were out with Bob and William, we ate breakfast with them and it was super early. So what we did is we did a 24-hour fast that next day to get ourselves back on track. It's really not that difficult because you figure you're sleeping 8 hours of it anyways.
Donna said, and broken cookies have no calories. I like how you think. All right, so it's 11:55.
All right.
I am going to let you start talking
Avenger
about this.
RV Adventure super chatted.
Thank you,
super
Steve.
chat. Thanks for being you and having another great chat. Avenger RV Adventure. First off, it was awesome meeting you two in Tampa. But really, these chats are so much fun because of all you guys in there. Kerry and I are just lucky enough to have a platform that we've built from nothing. We had months and months and months where if we had 12 people show up, it was a great show. Now we regularly have 75 plus, and the more people we get in here, the better these shows are because it's all about you guys. You guys, it's very easy for Kerry and I now because we just talk along with y'all, and you guys have so much information, are so funny.
Like you knew what a haboob was.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
all right.
So get into the unveiling, reveal, or whatever. And I'll warn you right now, he's probably going to get choked up.
I'll try not to.
Okay.
Okay, everybody listen up. Here comes the unveiling here, or the reveal. We always try to change things up and try to keep things fresh, and we went another direction in our video creations, and we've decided we want to tell stories. You know, that's what YouTube is. YouTube's all about stories. So our story that we told, and we've just made it live just now for everybody to see, is about how we became free. And us becoming free was hitting the road. And really, we had a different idea about what it was going to be. We went on the road because I wasn't feeling well. I had so much stress, and we thought it was going to be the travel and everything. But what really happened was how we found each other again, you know. And I'm not getting as emotional about that because we've always been each other's best friends. But a really big part of having us do this was Kerry's mom, who passed away in 2011. So she made this possible because we saw all the stuff that she kept putting off, and we didn't want to put it off anymore. So that video is live right now, and Kerry and I have really worked hard on that, and it's, like I said, a lot of tears were shed through the filming, through the writing, and the reading of it, and we would be honored and humbled if y'all would swing over and check that video out that Kerry just made live right now.
And let us know if you would like to see more like that. It's something we've thought about for a while, and it's Russ is a very creative and very talented person.
How about that?
And I just saw so much of him come out in making the video that we put out today. And so if you could take a moment and give us your feedback, if you liked it, if you didn't, what you think we could do to help improve it more, we would like to know so we can continue to bring more content. And with that, we're going to wrap up today's episode.
I just want to say thank you, Bubba Buck. He just put a very sweet comment about the videos that we create. So thank you, Bubba. It means a lot. Again, you all mean a lot to us, and we thank you so much for joining us. Again, you humble us every weekend that you show up, and we hope that we can all remain friends and share our time together.
And if you're looking for that video, I also put a link in the description below. So
all right,
it should be live. All right, thank you guys. Stay safe, and we will talk to you Friday night.
Aloha. Love you guys. Bye-bye.